We got some familiar faces here. A couple. A couple. What we talking about today, YJ?
Well, we're gonna get right into it. I got a lot of college graduates in the room. You know what I mean? Got a few. I got a question for everybody though. Do we believe, or do y'all believe, in the institution of college? Is it beneficial? Is it necessary? Should it be the standard? Is it what we should do?
Is it a scam?
Hell yeah, it's a scam.
It's a scam.
Why is it a scam?
I know so many people right now that is in college debt, and they working at jobs that they can't even afford to pay the student loan back.
Facts.
And it's just like, I feel like now a bachelor's degree is like a damn like high school diploma.
Big facts.
Like, I'm just like, I can't say I'm in shock, but I'm just disappointed.
Outside of the money, though, what about the experience you get from college?
I mean, I did an online school, so I didn't get the whole college experience like that. But I mean,
If you could go back, would you go back to school?
I probably would, but I would. Man, I don't even know. Probably not. Probably not.
Okay, so let's break it down a little bit. Four-year universities and programs like that. How do we feel about that? Is those necessary? Those in general, are those necessary?
I think it just depends on what you're majoring in for it to be necessary. Like Sarita said, if you are going to school and you take out loans, it's not beneficial. So you need to try another way, another route to get your education, like whether it's grants or scholarships, or they have it to where your parents can start saving up money when you're little, so then when you do go to college, you don't have that burden of debt. I love my college experience, so that's not something I would want to trade. But was I in student loan debt after I left? Absolutely. That's because we weren't educated on how to go to school the proper way.
What's more important, trade school or university?
I feel like I think in the community we don't really publicize that as that's an option. So it's a good option for most people because there's honorable work to be done by going to trade school. Be a carpenter, do an electrician type of work, versus not going to college and just be on the streets. You know what I mean? So I think knowledge about that we need more of, just to let people know that's an option.
I went to trade school, graduated. Irving. No, I ain't grabbing no mic. I got you. Yeah, I went to Irving Tech College, It was great, whatever, for auto mechanics. But I ain't much in that field no more, so I don't much care. Yeah, be honest with you, you know what I'm saying? You're going to be an entrepreneur or whatever. You feel you can make money the other way. You don't got to go to college to make money.
Facts.
There's plenty of money made out here.
Yeah.
So,
And we ain't talking about the streets, nigga.
I ain't talking about the street. I'm saying a lot of successful people are entrepreneurs and they got college degrees after they got money. So that's what I'm saying. Just to say they had that. So that's all that is.
Yeah, no, that's real. I feel like this. So like with the way the world moving, a lot of stuff is becoming automated. So computers are taking a lot of people's jobs, right? So the things that people went to school to do before is now done by a computer, and now they got a worthless ass piece of paper that they can't do nothing with it. You know what I mean? And they got to work some kind of job that they didn't even like plan for. That it was never in their dream or close to their degree field. So what do we do? Like, what do we do about that kind of thing? Like, do we re-aim what we should go for or aspire for? Reposition ourselves to do things that isn't automated, or do we look for the long-term things that we see that computers can't take over in?
Well, that's a good question. I think one thing computers can take over in is the educational experience. So everybody needs to be educated on their field of study. Even if you're going to work on computers, if you're going to do a trade, if you're going to go to college, you need to be educated. Computers can't replace teachers. It can't replace somebody who has expertise in the field being in front of you. Even if you go to a job, like us three work at Capital One, we need somebody to educate us if we're coming in and we're new. And I never worked in a banking environment. So I need somebody who's been there. Like Zavika showed me like what's going on here because that was my first time. So you need somebody who has knowledge in that field. And I don't think computers can substitute for that. Computers cannot substitute for the human experience. I don't care what it is. Even as far as I know, it's kind of off topic, like dating. A lot of people get on websites and they'll go find somebody instead, but you can't replace walking up to somebody and kind of feeling out their vibe. You can't replace that. That is my opinion, though.
Going back to the school thing, like MIT, Harvard, they all have what we call MOOC programs,
Yeah.
which are free online classes on various subjects. Like a lot of people don't know about that. You can educate, get a certificate on it, and also like Google, some of these big corporations are hiring folks that don't have college degrees because they realize there's not a whole lot of value in getting a degree. You can get those certificates and then go work for Google, big tech company. So
If you don't have a degree now, you better have a real good hustle game. Because people barely hire you if you have a degree. So imagine if you don't have a degree. If you got a good hustle, you good. If not,
I want to piggyback off of that because, as I don't know if all of you know, I just started, photography and videos, and I'm going to say it. I don't have any certifications or degree whatsoever, but there are dozens of resources out there, and that's where hustle comes into play. If you want it, you'll find it. Because I tell you right now, I haven't paid for one class, and I've probably taken over about 15 seminars and classes, free of pay. YouTube, shout out to YouTube. YouTube is a great resource. and then Instagram, social media has its good and bads, but on Instagram, there's constantly people that are hustling and they're offering these seminars and classes that can help you get your hustle up, And whatever you do, be proactive on it. Don't half-ass it because you can get it done. And, with social media, you can meet a lot of people and you can get a lot of great jobs and accomplish a lot of good things, make a lot of good money, and you never went to school. So hustle whatever you do.
So what? Oh, that's a cell phone. Goddamn, cell phone turns cell phone. Oh, what the fuck is that? Goddamn, Joe.
That might be me.
Oh, that's you. Goddamn, Pat. Nah, hey, but check this out though. I do have something that's interesting that just came to mind. Manufacturing, right? This whole country is built on, manufacturing, like mass production of, at one point, in the motor industry, cars and whatnot. Somebody got to build shit. Somebody got to make something. With all that's going on and with all the online schooling and all the technology forward thinkers that we have now, who is building shit?
People overseas.
Amazon.
Pretty much. People
Amazon,
overseas and they're shipping it back to the States. That's what they're doing. So,
Do we want to do that in the States?
no, not really.
Well,
Not
the
with this
terror-
generation coming up.
Well, we don't know what this.
I think it's necessary. I think we need to do that shit. I think we need to.
doesn't want to do that anymore. No, we don't. Our society doesn't want to work anymore. We don't want to work for what we want anymore. We just want you to give it to us. We don't know our parents. The shit that I watched my mom go through. Now my friends will break down and cry about today, but my mom really wouldn't allow herself to break in front of us. Like, it's too much. Like, it was deep. It's all deep, child.
Well, there are people in the population that want to do those jobs, and Orange Head is trying to, push them back. If you know what I mean.
Orange hair, who we mean? We mean Donald J. Trump.
Yeah,
That's what we mean.
That would not be named. But yeah, there are jobs that Americans don't want, but there are people here, here illegally or not illegally, that want to do those jobs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I hear you, but But where is the manufacturing jobs going? I mean, it may come back here with the tariff war that's going on with China. Who knows where that's going to land?
That's a big deal right now.
Yeah.
That's a huge deal.
Into it as well as to why it's not in the U.S. It's all about money.
Yeah.
We're also, like I said, we're just not how we were back in the day. Like, a dollar is serious right now. Like, it's just that serious. But I feel like, yes, I agree with you. It's a lot of people here that want to do those jobs, but it's like, again, I'm going to go say it's deeper than that. Because it's like, we black, but it's like, it's hard for us to work together, but we want to support black businesses. We want to support this, we want to support that. But I feel like, yes, it can be in the U.S., but it's like, are we going to allow people to come in? Are we going to pay these people the right money? Like, it's so so much that ties into that because it's working in a factory and sitting in the cars and all day is something totally different. Teaching and working in a factory is something totally different. You used to going away from your family majority of the time, 12 to 16 hours a day when you're in a factory. So it's a lot I feel like that ties into it. I don't feel like we're ready to accept that and pay out that kind of money. We already in debt as is as a country. So
Now, do you think like with these jobs coming back and manufacturing jobs, if they were to boom in the next few years, right? And a lot of people get these jobs, especially people who need jobs now, poor people and people. There is no middle class. I don't believe in that shit. But poor people who need these jobs, right? They get them, and it begin a cycle happens to where the poor and the lower class are able to have more spending dollars, right? Which would eventually stimulate the economy, right? Which eventually give these corporations more money to do more things, right? And which should minimize inflation and things like that, right? So what if that starts to come back? Do you think that we are too, comfortable in our ways where we at right now, working our online jobs, or do we want to get our hands dirty? Is it even possible to even go back there?
I don't think the jobs will come back, but I think
good question.
what's going to happen is there's a lot of legislation. It started with Washington State raising the minimum wage to $15 an hour, and that's been going around the country. So I think that's one step, which is policy increasing the minimum wage. As far as the jobs coming back, it's not going to be the same thing. Most of the jobs that come back, especially in car manufacturing, it's going to be automated. So that's going to be a whole lot of benefit to people that are going to want those jobs. But it's still, the landscape's still ambiguous. You don't really know. I don't know.
How do y'all feel about the minimum wage being raised across the country? Do y'all agree with it?
It's bullshit still, because you get more money, but guess what? The price of everything will go up. So like, fuck you.
You're still struggling to make ends meet.
Excuse me, Lil, I forgot Lil Man was there. You know?
That's good.
I work for a staffing agency, so I can speak a little bit about this. People don't want to pay people to work either. So you have these jobs that expect you to bust your butt for $8, $9 an hour. Like who wants to do that? And your check is $300 by the time your taxes are taken out. But then you're expecting people to do those type of work, and it's not fair for people. Like, it's not. Like I see it all the time. I wouldn't even work those jobs, and it's sad that. I mean, I see a lot of Hispanic people working them, a lot of Black people working them, but it's not fair for those families that has to take a $9 an hour job and you only get $300 back. Like that's BS to me.
So the way I understood it was, when it comes to minimum wage jobs, the way I grew up understanding it was these individuals that take these jobs or get these jobs, it's pretty much for like kids to learn how to use their money. It's not for, a family of 2 or 3 to go and be able to live off of. So, and I hate to be that guy, but go get a trade, you know what I mean? I know it's tough, you know what I mean? But like, it's not, people aren't made to go and work at McDonald's, you know what I mean? Like, that doesn't make any sense. You can't live off of that, but that's just my 2 cents.
It is made for that, but oftentimes when we go to those places, we see adults working those jobs. Especially unfortunately, yeah, especially overnight, and they have families at home.
But on,
That goes back to what she said. People don't want to put people to work. So
They
like,
don't.
you just said it's hard to get a job.
Even if you have
Right. So it's the same thing. People don't want that, so then they settle for McDonald's or Wendy's and stuff like that just to live.
I have people with master's degrees coming into a staffing agency. And we start at maybe minimum wage and then not a master's. So you went to school for all that, you didn't, you're probably in debt now, you're trying to work a regular job, which is BS to me. So you got a piece of paper now, it's not even working for you.
So what it sounds like to me with everything that we're saying, people want to work, people just don't want to make trash ass money, that's obvious. And corporations don't want to pay too much, right? So if you were president, what would be the first thing you do to help this out in some kind of way?
Educate. I think educate people. First of all, like people need to be educated.
I agree. She said it in a great way. With the, I feel like a lot of things are not brought to the light. We don't have a conversation about a lot of things anymore. It's always swept under the rug. Like if we educated our kids more on making, like I don't feel like college is a bad thing, but it ain't for everybody either. Like I feel like I'm stable and I don't have my bachelor's, I don't have my master's, I can walk away from my job and say, okay, I'm good financially because I'm frugal. I don't believe I'm built and designed to make sure that I want to keep making money. I don't want to. I like to learn and keep doing that, but I feel like it's just different strokes for different folks because some people got that drive in them and some ain't. Some people want to be a boss, some people want to be a worker. So I just feel like it's deep again.
I'm a piggyback off a little bit of what she said though when she's talking about it going back to education, because whether you go to college or not, do you have the capability to be able to do, whatever it is that you're seeking for yourself and your family? Because I don't know, for me, I feel like the whole education system just needs to be revamped and changed. There's a lot of things that you do not learn growing up. I know for us, when we talking about student loan debt, who thought about a credit score? You know what I'm saying? Who thought about any of these things? There's so many scholarships and grants online that you can apply for, hundreds, thousands. But at the end of the day, you rely on what makes sense at the time. I'm gonna just have to take the loans out because that's the only option. It's really not your only option. You just don't know what your other resources are. You have to know what's available to you in order to utilize them, right? So I think, you can even go start in grade school with anything as simple as budgeting, stuff like that. I feel like certain classes should be required.
Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Talk about it, and then like you hit like grade school, you hit fifth grade, you go to Enterprise Village. After that, you don't hear nothing else about money, budgeting, jobs, none of that. Then you hit high school, and it's like if you don't work your ass off, stay on top of your guidance counselors, you don't get those resources. They're not handed to you. There's not a class that's like, okay, well, here's a grant class to show you how to do your scholarships and stuff like that. I didn't get that. I had to stay on top of everything to the point where I graduated high school with 60 college credits. What degree does that go to? Because I wasn't taught, oh, this is your format of your degree. So these are the classes you need to take for your degree. So I'm 60 credits deep that I didn't have to pay for, but now I'm paying for classes for a degree. That don't make no sense.
I want to piggyback a little bit. In high school now, you get class and bullshit. Why I got to worry about World War II for? And I'm living right now. You know what I'm talking about right now. Real life situations like, damn, your credit ain't shit. You ain't gonna be nothing in life. You know what I'm saying? That's basically what they tell you. They want to give you money so you can spend it, and they want you to pay on top of that with interest. Like, nah, I just rather give me cash. I stack my shit up and keep it on moving. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, they give you bullshit classes in high school that has nothing to do with life. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never used trig a day in my life. Ever since I took, you know what I'm saying? But it's all about the classes. Right. If you put real life situations in classes, I guarantee they'd be better off living.
And that goes back to like the college thing too, like prereqs. A lot of them are like it's all right for a lot of them, but then I'm in a 4-year course. My sister just did that in 18 months. She got the same qualifications I did. It don't make no sense. Those are not.
A prereq should be any sort of financial literacy course. That should be a prereq. That's necessary for everybody.
I'm voting for you.
But that shouldn't even be like college prereq. Like that needs to be like
High school.
But it should be a continuation.
Right.
Because, who was really paying attention to some of the classes they took in high school? It should be an ongoing learning experience.
I agree to the fullest, bitch. I ain't got nothing to say. I'm voting for her. I ain't even running no more. I'm voting for her.
I got the likes.
There's also people though in education that's not there to educate, so that makes it hard too.
Oh boy, that's a whole nother subject. That's a whole.
Go ahead, Miss Relford. Miss Relford, go ahead, Miss Relford.
If you're not gonna be able to educate, like why go get a degree? Why come apply to a job and you're not there to help? Like you're there to get a paycheck and then complain that your paycheck ain't helping you. That's not what that's for.
Could that be a factor of why teachers don't care anymore? Because they're not being paid enough? At the end of the day, if I'm going to make the same amount of money, why am I going to put in any more effort than I already am?
Understanding, and that goes back to him when he was like, okay, well if you know that, then why go apply for that job? Go apply for a different job because now you're influencing other people's lives and how they grow up and how they think about things. So it's like you knew coming into that job, teachers tell you all the time, it's not about the pay. Like the pay is
I think I can say this because I am someone who went into a teaching degree and stopped midway through. I have maybe about a year left to finish my degree. But I went into it fully committed to the whole, I'm going to change children's lives, I'm going to teach and educate and influence the community in the way that I think that we should be influenced. But at the end of the day, I'm about to start a family. I'm getting married next year. I can't rely on $40,000 a year. You know what I mean? Like, that's not enough to live where we want to live, to put our children, our future children, in the schools that we want to put them through. Those are things that we have to think about. And I think a lot of teachers probably go into it the first couple of years with that same passion and drive. But after a first couple of years of making crap, their opinions change.
But even once your opinions change, why stay there? And then you're dropping your opinions on these young minds that are taking that feedback from you. So it's like, I'm not making what I need to make. I need to survive for my family, but I'm not gonna go out and get another, or try to get another job because I'm comfortable here. So now my attitude and the way I come in, I'm not going to be the same. I'm no longer here to help you. I'm here because I basically have to survive.
But if you already have that degree, you've already invested all of this money into this degree, it's not a simple decision to say, well, yeah, I'm just going to up and leave and find something else to do. There's job security in that field. You're always going to need teachers. And if you've already invested this money into your degree, why would you look for a different field? I hear you. But at the same time, like...
Yeah. Still, like, your attitude still should be the same. I feel like if you're a teacher and you sit there, then you shouldn't have, that shouldn't impact your student. They have nothing to do with that. And as a teacher, you're going in there to teach them, you know, you don't want to lose that passion just because you're miserable at that job. You chose to be there, you invested, now invest in those children and change their lives. So they don't do what you're doing, that you're miserable. And you're teaching them something. So I think as a teacher, then that's your job. I want them to be better, so let them, I don't want them to feel like I feel like this miserable feeling. So let me educate them and teach them what kind of passion they have, what are they good at.
That's why just like healthcare, like, you don't want your doctor to tell you, like, I'm miserable.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about your health issues because I need to feed my family.
I see
that.
I think, yeah, that's...
Okay, see, the thing about that, the doctors can tell you a bunch of bullshit and still
Get
get
paid,
paid. And then you
exactly.
got to come back to them, pay them more money. Oh, that wasn't it. Well, try this medicine.
Yeah.
I know it's all about the
It's a practice.
Yeah.
It's a practice.
It's not, it's...
I think I see both sides. I see what she's saying. If I have a degree, why would I take less money and go somewhere else? I worked like practically my whole life to be in this position. Why would I just stop? Now, on your end, that takes accountability from the person who's teaching. Most kids know that the teacher don't care. That's why they respond that way. In that case, you got to leave. You should leave. But the teacher, because people are like self-righteous, so they think, man, I'm just gonna stay here. I don't care if you learn it or not. But somebody like, it depends on the person. Somebody like me, once I lost my love and my passion for it, I'm gonna leave, because then it's gonna affect you. At least teach, people who have kids, your child will let you know the teacher don't care about me. You're not really looking for, because you're the teacher here. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, okay, I want to say this. It's not all about the money. I think people, what they fail to realize is that teaching is not teaching anymore. Teaching is so much more. You wear like 50 different hats. It's political as well. So I'm not just going into the classroom to teach these kids whatever standards or lessons that they need to get. I have to sit at for these standards and say, I need to do this, this, and this. I have to add on to my certificate and not get paid for it. So right now, I'm literally sitting in 2 classes. I had to be ESOL endorsed. That means I can teach kids that don't know the English language. And I also have to have my reading endorsement, which was mandated by the state, so I can teach kids how to effectively read, adding on top of my degree. So I have to do that while going to work. I'm working 8 hours or more. Lesson plan, that's on top of that as well. And then let's say the buses don't pick them up or the parents are not there. I gotta wait for the kids for that. It's so much things that go into it. Am I passionate about what I do? Absolutely. But I've been teaching for 8 years, and for you to say $40,000, I don't even make that yet. Just to be 100. So it's just like, when you look at it and say, you expect us to get these degrees and add on to these certifications and upkeep it because you have to renew it every 5 years. I got to pay for that as well. I got to pay for me to get my certification. That's like $500 that I'm not getting back every time I go and renew it. It's just a lot that weighs on you. So you initially go in, I didn't major in education. I majored in sociology, so I had to go back to school to get my education certification. But if you invested in it, there's a pension like everybody else, or you get your retirement, like Jasmine said. I mean, why am I doing all these things and I'm not gonna go through with the process? Yeah. The difference between me and some other people is that I'm passionate about what I do. Yeah. And I understand that there could be change eventually, and I have to keep that in the forefront of my mind, because if not, I'm gonna be burnt out. I'm not gonna wanna go to work anymore. But these kids, you're not even teaching them how to be model citizens. You're not even teaching them how to be human beings, have manners and stuff like that. Stuff that they should have learned at home, they're coming into you with all that on top of you trying to teach them the standards for math, science, whatever it may be. So that's the battle that we face as teachers.
And that's a deep one. That's a deep one. I want to go further because I wanted to ask y'all, too, about aptitude tests. Do you believe we should do some kind of, you know what I'm saying, to see who's good at what, so to help them, steer them in the right direction? All right, so we good. So we can.
You was snapping. Yes, you know.
Oh, we do?
Because I was ready. I had something to say. I was about to change the profession. I was about to change the whole profession. I was about to go over the mind.
So what do y'all think about that, though? Like aptitude tests for the young?
You talking about like to get them tested for gifted and stuff like that?
I mean, not stuff like that, but just to see where they land in like their strong points. Yeah, their strong points and what. Yeah, you think so?
I mean, it's necessary, but I don't know. I'm on both sides of the fence for that one because I'm one of the children that wasn't a good test taker, but I'm smart as hell. So I'm like, I don't know. Like, I really
SAT score low.
So if I'm interject, like most tests, they're engineered not based on your culture. Like, so when a black person take a test, it's like
they can make it to where
it's like it's whitewashed. You know what I mean? So
I tried to cheat on it a few times.
yeah. It is what it is, yeah.
You just said it right.
They're designed.
You guys are black kids saying about what happened to they can tell you everything.
Yeah.
And you can't ask a white person that, they can't tell you, but you ask them what George Washington did last before he died, they can tell you everything. They talk differently.
Yeah, the culture's in Texas.
It's culture.
Yeah, it's culturally based.
That's some deep shit. Well, let's get on that wild shit then.
Oh, you want something wild?
I want to get on that wild shit. What we talking about? Sex.
Hey, what does sex mean to y'all? Oh man, what was going on?
Where you going?
Hey, that's cool. Hey, keep it. It's wave report. It's wave report. It's a wave report.
I thought you were trying to dip. My bad.
Wave report. Hey, this is how we doing a wave report. We live. What does sex mean to y'all? On a scale of 1 to 10, how important is it to each of y'all? We can go around the table.
It's about a 10.
Also a 10.
10,
20.
7.
Oh, okay, we got a 7. Up, down. Up, down. That sounds like a 10.
11.
All right.
I plead the fifth.
Now I'll go 8.
8. All right.
25.
All right.
Pass this one.
Okay. That's a 10.
I'm out of this conversation.
All right. That's another 10.
It's 8.
So with I mean, what you got?
I got an 8.
I got a 10 as well, bro. Facts. It's probably 100, but that's another story. I think with all of us putting that importance on sex, right? What does it mean to us? Like, if it's that important, what does it mean? Why is it that important?
it's intimacy.
But see, that's different. I'm just talking about sex. I ain't talking about making love and being intimate. I'm talking about fucking.
Somebody take his mic.
Huh?
Sex with a male, they be in love and feel everything. That's totally different.
That's a lie.
Go ahead, Jasmine, talk. There's a mic right there.
Some males get attached by having sex,
I'm glad that you amended your statement because I definitely was like, that's not right. There's for whatever reason society has programmed us to think that women cannot express their sexuality freely. I don't know where that came from. I don't know why that stigma exists, but it's always like men have the ability to be hoes and sleep with whoever they want, when women, if you've slept with more than 5 people, there's something wrong there. You're not wife material. You know what I mean? And I think that's bullshit. Like, that's not fair. You can sleep with 10 people and not know what you're doing.
But like to piggy off what you're saying, like for those like me, the way I think of it, I wouldn't say, all right, she's just not wifey material and I'm gonna do my thing. I believe them niggas ain't husband material.
I agree.
Like I believe it go both ways. Them niggas that's doing that shit, them ain't husband material neither.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like a two-way street for me. Like I can't say be a hypocrite and say, you know, I'm gonna do my thing and you just chill and I need you to stay home, cook, clean, chill. I'm gonna go get my dick wet and come back. That's savage. That's savage as fuck to me. I can't do it.
A lot of you waking up 2 weeks in the hospital.
2 weeks. That's it.
See, but that's just different. Say like y'all was to come off and y'all was to meet and talk and have that conversation on rip. Listen, we ain't for the hell. We gonna do our thing, but I ain't catching fitness. If y'all would come to agreement or whatever, and keep it one.
But people start off like that though, until it hit. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, man. It's real, man. It start off like that. But you know, from what I've seen though, hey, from what I've seen, when it's an agreement like that initially, most of the time it's the dude who catch feelings.
Right. Yes, it is.
Hey, that's a fact. That happened to me before. That's an absolute fact. We had an agreement, but that thing was wetter than normal. I ain't never had this. I'm like, shit, should I let this walk away? Nigga, what if I don't get this no more? This Niagara, man. Y'all ever been to Niagara? Shit crazy. It happens. Hey.
For those who said it's a 10, why is it a 10 for y'all? Is it the act or is it the person in the act? Because it's two separate things.
See, the thing is for me, I say it's also the person in the act because I'm not like everybody. I can't just go out and just, like you said, just stick your dick in it and, you know what I mean, just go off. No, I have to be emotionally vested in order to go and do that because, you know, like whenever you have sex with someone, you're becoming one person with that individual. So, you know, I kind of feel like whenever it's that, you know, you guys heard of the love languages, right? Mm-hmm. So mine is physical, you know what I mean, whatever, like physical touch. So that's how I express myself. So that's why it's so important for me.
I'm the exact opposite. I've slept with, I'm not gonna tell you, but it's a very high number. I've slept with a lot of people. Yeah, my body count's pretty high, but I'm not ashamed of that. Now, I'm not ashamed of that. I don't mind. My fiance knows. My fiance's body count is probably less than mine, maybe, but it's not a thing that I'm ashamed of. I don't feel like I need to know a person to sleep with them. I often joke that I don't want you to talk. Like, I don't want to know your favorite color. I don't want to know who you are. I don't even care about your name. Yeah. Like, I used to give them nicknames. Like, I'm just that kind of person. But I'm committed. If I'm in a relationship, I'll be committed to that person and be intimate with that person. There are things that I will tell you that I won't tell somebody that I'm just sleeping with. Yeah. But I feel like I should be free to sleep with whoever I want.
Yeah. And you should have boundaries too, like you were just saying. Don't tell me about yourself. I don't give a damn about your background story, your lifestyle, none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't care.
None of that.
Your cousin locked up.
You're not here for a conversation.
Why is it a 10?
Everything that Lauren said, I'm on the same page. I don't really think that there's any better way to say it.
Jay, you said a 20.
Yeah, I'm tactile. Physical touch is my love language as well. I think Lawrence said it perfectly. I mirror what he says in regards to that.
may have a 10, so.
I'm gonna be a little weird.
It don't listen here. If I feel like I have the urge to get it off, I'm gonna get it off with or without my wife. I'm just letting you know that it's just me. It probably just me. So that's just me. If I gotta go get that rocks off, I'm gonna get it off. With or without you, you know what I'm saying? It'll be better with your help, but without your help, you know what I'm saying? I can have a lot of imagination going on. You know what I'm talking about? So,
Straight up. It'd be better if you was here with me right now.
Hey, so could y'all be in a long-term relationship if the sex wasn't good at all?
Of course not. That's a joke.
You said yeah?
Yeah, I said
Without cheating.
Follow up. Follow up.
I don't know.
I don't know. What if you're married and the sex is bad? What do you do?
Use a lie, because it shouldn't have got that far.
Facts. Preach. Facts.
I'm just saying.
Facts.
I'm just saying.
Facts.
I'm not married. I'm just saying.
But that's an important piece in my life. Like that helps my anxiety if I'm stressed and I want to might come home and be Rasputin and jump on your ass. I need to be able to do that confidently and know that you ain't gonna hold me down. Like I don't want a doorknob like that.
What if it start off good and then just becomes bad after you get married? You have to what? After you get married? After marriage?
Oh no, I wouldn't make it that far with you. Like I wouldn't know honestly.
Well,
like
what I said was it was good when you got married. Well, before you got married, while you got married for the first year, it was good, but then it just got bad after year 2, 3, and there was no fixing it. Like, what do? You get a divorce?
No, I mean, honestly, to be honest, because I take marriage as a serious thing. That's why I'm not married. Like I take it to me that's something that's very serious. So once you get to that point of marriage, it shouldn't be no I'm bored or I'm like having this bad or this. You should already have like you should have what you. To me, marriage is a compliment to a lifetime union. So you should have your situations.
Hold on, run that back. Run that back.
It's
Run
a-
that back. Run that back.
It's
It's a what?
A life. What the hell I said? I'm drunk.
A compliment.
It's a compliment to a lifetime union. Yes, that's how I view it. And
God
people may
damn
look
it.
at me as weird, but I feel like I'm your best friend before we get married. Like that ring is my compliment to say that you're mine. But before that, no. Like we should have our sex like like if it gets bad in our marriage, and I'm gonna say it get born and that flame die, but it shouldn't get bad because then at that point, then I might need to change my wig. You may need to go take some pills and like that. But I feel like we gonna fix what we got in our relationship. But if we're married now, before that, if I discover that it's bad, you're getting replaced because that's not my problem, and your mama should have already just looked at it.
But like one of the top 3. Well, there's 3 reasons why people get divorced: money, sex, and infidelity. So, like, sex is the reason why people get divorced.
That's a joke.
It's not up there. Communication.
Communication is the biggest reason why you get.
But
Like I said,
That's
I'm
probably
gonna
the
bring
thing.
it back for you a little again. Okay, I'm gonna run it.
I hear you, but sex is one of the reasons why people get divorced too.
No, it is, but I feel like also that's another deep conversation because I feel like some people scared to also, like she said, be real about their sex with their partner.
Yeah.
Like when I first got with my mate, I was like, I like women, but he was like, nah, you can't do that, and I was like, well, I'm gonna sneak and do it. But then I learned to be respectful and was like, all right, I'm gonna stop and do that. But it killed our sex life for a long time because I'm like, hey, like. I like women in the back of my head. Like, I'm always going to love you, but I still like to have my way every now and again. That's me personally. Everybody else ain't going to be real about theirs. Right. But when we begin to understand and bring that together, like, our sex life blew out the window. Like, okay, like, we good. Like, I want to, like, that's what it is. But I can't speak for everybody else, but I feel like you should have that established before you get there. Like, people look at us and be like, oh, y'all been together 9 years, but like, you don't know the shit I done been through. You don't know the shit I done put him through. Mm-hmm. Like, we just like started getting real this year, and I'm like, you could be with somebody for 10 years, and the 10th year is the year that it feel like y'all should have been doing shit at the first year. Yeah. Like, you literally have to just go through something to go through something. I just feel like it's a lot.
God
It's deep.
damn it, I'm changing my vote.
It's deep.
I don't know. I just feel like we're talking as is. There's some people that don't have sex before they get married. Like, I'm just gonna put it out there. Me and Mate, we waited a long time before we were intimate. So when people say, "Oh, I know beforehand," sometimes you don't know. You know, like, and that's a learning curve that you will have to have with your partner. I think that's what brings intimacy into your marriage, into your sex life.
God bless y'all.
I mean, so y'all didn't have conversations about it?
So
I mean,
God bless
you
y'all
guys
didn't-
don't know me, but I'm a virgin, so I can't really say.
What?
Yes. So on that subject, So hearing you talk, everyone talk, I'm like, well, I don't know nothing.
But would you agree that there's things that you would like to do or thought about, and would you communicate that to your partner?
Yes, but I would communicate that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think communication is big on that part. We have to communicate. I'm not experienced, so if you are, you're gonna have to communicate certain things to me because
Right.
I don't know.
Right. I think that's the biggest thing, communication.
Yeah, but no matter who you're with, you're not gonna know what that person does or don't like anyway. You have to communicate either way.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say.
I think that's where we fail, though. Like, as people, I think that's where we fail, communication. We don't communicate. And if we do, we don't do it well.
Or you're afraid to
Right.
hurt that person's feeling because you
Or
how they
afraid to
correct.
look a certain way.
Mhm.
Because this is a judgmental society.
It is.
Way too goddamn many.
But yeah. Nah, I'm not a 10, but I'm about an 8. An 8, pretty good. Like Elisa said, we waited a while to have sex. It wasn't by my choice, tell you that right now. But it's a partnership, so I had to compromise for a little bit. I think sex is a beautiful thing. I don't believe in hoes. I don't really believe in that. I don't believe in hoes. I don't believe in that. I believe we sexual creatures by nature. If you have sex with a lot of people, you just have sex with a lot of people. Nobody's going to tell you, like, if I were single and I was dating somebody, the probability of her telling me exactly how many men she might have forgot some. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Sometimes you just forget. You know, I've had sex with some people, I just don't, maybe it wasn't memorable. I don't know.
No, you're right. Some people you want to forget.
Yeah. So I don't think it really matters. I think the person you're with, if you communicate effectively with them, because people just throw communication out there. I can tell you what I want, but if I don't tell you in an effective manner where you understand, then I'm not doing a good job. I also think, as Zavika mentioned, Jasmine mentioned, you have to be 100% real with yourself first. If I'm trash, I'm going to know it before you say it. That's the type of person I am. I'm going to know it before you tell me. I don't need you saving my feelings or beating around the bush. Like, nigga, you ain't shit. And that make me want to change. I hear a lot of women all the time say, well, I've never had a complaint because they ain't want to hurt your feelings. More than likely, he was saying want to hurt your feelings, he ain't want to say nothing.
But
That's real, though.
We don't take complaints. Don't be that serious though. It'd be like you can't ride, nigga. My knees tired. Like it just. I feel like complaints are on a different. I mean, like some of them complaints need to be thrown in the trash. Like no, nobody told us to do Pilates. We don't. Some of us don't work out.
Mm-hmm. And you also not gonna get every single thing that you want when you having sex. And then you can't be mad if some people ain't into stuff. Some people don't like being tied up. You like being tied up. Some people don't like being tied up. Some people don't like experimenting like that. You can't be mad at that, but like Zavika said earlier, you have to have that type of communication up front. Look, I don't like you putting stuff in my mouth. I don't like being like bondage. Some people just don't like that. So you have to know that type of stuff up front before you start having sexual encounters with people. But some people, if they see the person in a relationship don't like that, they'll seek it elsewhere. Or you don't like being tied up? Well, I'm going to go find somebody who'll tie me up. Yeah. Some people like having sex aggressively. Some men are timid. They don't like choking a girl in bed and stuff like that. You can't blame them. Especially with this Me Too shit going on. I ain't choking you. None of that.
Now, what about trying things, though? Because like, you hear people saying, oh, I don't do this, I don't do that.
You got to be open-minded. I think you got to be open-minded. I'm open-minded. How far, though? How far are you open-minded?
Straight up. That's straight up.
So,
networks.
yeah,
I'm with whatever.
So what are some things that's? Let me help y'all turn this conversation. What is off limits to y'all? Somebody should
Anything close to the butthole. Listen here, I'm letting you know that.
Thank you. Yes.
Anything close to the
That's off
asshole is off.
It's off limits. That's off limits.
Yeah, don't touch my booty. Don't touch my booty.
Is this nigga gay? Yeah. You start thinking about something like that. So it's like, nah, we're not doing that.
I don't do that. Yeah.
I'm with you, Deja. That's
No butts.
That's what I think about. So that's off limits for me.
I mean, like experiment, try, yeah. But
And I mean, I also don't have intercourse when I'm menstruating. That's off limits.
oh, I be like,
people into that.
I'm
People
spotting
into that.
you. You want to go hunt?
Hey,
Hey.
any of y'all ever had sex on? Hey, anybody y'all had? Y'all ever had?
Those not off limits.
Hey, y'all ever had sex on y'all period? The men?
Nope.
They hit me at work, and I'm being honest. I literally would be like, I'm spotting. Do you want to go hunting? Like, it's hunting season. Are you playing with the red light today? Like,
It's a light day.
that's only I really need it.
I think it's a mental thing though. Like if you're not thinking about it, if you think about it, then it's nasty. But if you're not thinking about it, then it's like it's a regular day.
I mean, all periods are not created equal. So
That's true.
You right.
That's true.
Right.
That's true.
You right.
There we go.
He said a shower.
There's a difference if it's about to come on and you don't know, as opposed to it fully being on. Like the
That's
second
a
day,
no.
like
See, that's a no. I wait till I'm spotting. Like if I'm spotting, yeah. But no.
maybe the last day.
Nah, that's real. That's real. I ran a couple red lights myself, and I would not do it with the full flow. That's not happening.
Nah, the full flow is a
That's
no.
not happening.
First, second day, no.
No.
Yeah, you did it wrong.
Yeah.
Hey, let's not talk about this no condom thing. Let's start talking about this no condom thing. Y'all into condoms?
What? So I'm the only nasty nigga at the table?
No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not.
I can't even front. Me and my ex-wife used to get it in. I ain't give it down.
Yeah.
I ain't give it down.
I mean,
Little
I feel
blood
like
ain't never
if you
kill
know
nobody.
what you doing, I mean, you could like you kissing, you like I don't those sides the best for. I mean, I don't do it. I feel like because I'm in my relationship, I don't have it with anybody else. So I feel like if you're with somebody, then like what's the purpose of doing it? Like if you're a person that like hop shop, then I would say yes. But if you're with one person, then like I'm not trying to be funny. If she on birth control, what's the purpose? Like that's a joke. To me.
Hey, for the women, have a man ever asked to eat you out on your period?
No.
I know some niggas like that.
Probably tastes like iron and everything.
Say pussy tastes like a penny.
Iron, like.
Ugh.
That was the exact thought that I had.
Yeah, like pennies, like. Oh God, I can't. This conversation's not for me.
So I got one, cause you said nothing in the butthole, right? Yeah. Like, what about if a girl or a guy like licks your butt? No. Is that okay?
Oh, y'all saying no?
Like,
I can't say no.
yeah. Ladies.
It's a no.
Okay, that's a no for you.
I hate to do this. I I got a homeboy that like his ass ate. I got a homeboy who like his ass ate. So it's got to be a female at this table who don't mind eating ass.
Wait, it's what?
It got to be a female at the table that don't mind eating
I ain't
ass.
getting shit like groceries.
But you seen the girl eating the girl?
I got a
no,
homeboy who like his ass ate.
Nope, sorry.
No.
I thought you meant the other way around.
No, I eat ass. Hey, she in front of me. It's right there.
Thank you.
I ain't scared of that shit. But
Yeah.
Yeah. That's totally. I can't. I don't know. Walking around with a soggy booty.
Too close though. That, you know what I'm saying? They
No.
slow. You got to. It's right there. Yeah, it touched you before you know it. That what it was.
You did it by mistake once.
Yeah, fact. Especially when you ain't know what you was doing. You was there.
Exactly. You went up and down.
You was right there. I don't mind. All right, we rapping. We out here.
I feel the heat wave.
Anyway, we got a little raunchy, but I'm cool with that. Anyways, the Wave Report. Follow us on Instagram at the Wave Report 813. Make sure y'all like the Facebook page. We were talking about likes to get us our status up. Goddamn. We want them likes for the money. You understand me? Waters. Okay.
Hey, yo, what's up? It's your boy, Joe Waters, a.k.a.
Shut the fuck up.
Hey, yo, hold on. So I've been watching, right? One quick question, bro. Why do men need women and why do women need men?
Companionship.
That's it. That's all I wanted to know.
I don't think people need each other in that way. But hey, but I think a man needs a woman because men need direction. A lot of men on their own, a lot of us were raised by our moms because our dads lacked direction, so they went off and did their own thing. If I didn't have my wife in my life, or if I didn't have a female figure in my life like my mom, or I'm just gonna stick to the relationship aspect, my wife, I wouldn't be who I am today. If I didn't have female friends, I wouldn't be who I am, because they helped realign me. If I listened to my guy friends, I'd be in prison. Women keep men balanced, in my opinion. And I don't mean that from like a creation standpoint, like God made a woman to balance out a man. I just mean women provide something that a man can't provide. So, yeah, but we ain't talking about that. We're keeping it positive, man. You know what I'm saying? I know you got a lot of malice in your heart. But I think from me, I needed my wife at the time that she came in. I don't believe in coincidences or things like being accidental. I think things happen when they're supposed to happen. And my wife came in my life at like a perfect time where I was developing. She actually came in my life when I didn't have anything. But I had my self-worth. So it wasn't like she boosted my self-esteem. Everybody here know me. My self-esteem is already high. So, but she came and she made me see things differently. And as a human being, you can't compute everything in your mind, so you need other perspectives. And my wife provided me with a different perspective. So from my standpoint, outside of sex and all that other stuff, she just gave me a different way to see life, and I think that's helped me out a lot.
Let me throw something in there. I'm an emotional dude, and I know it's a lot of emotional dudes out there. Contrary to the popular belief, because they think we savages a lot of time, or we portray ourselves to be savages. Me, I'm an emotional dude. I think a lot, and I got a lot of shit on my chest. So, in the way I move and the shit that I do, I have to care about what I'm doing. So, for me, the reason I need a woman, or the reason I need women, is for the simple fact that I need emotional support. And who better? Who better to give me emotional support than the person, the creature they say is an emotional creature? That's for me.
I would say myself personally, because when you're single, we set assumptions of what we're supposed to be like and what we're supposed to do. But I think, I needed to have a significant other to help me remember or create a real balance of expectations of what things are supposed to do, what I'm supposed to do, what she's supposed to do, instead of being single and creating these unrealistic goals and unrealistic things that you're supposed to do. And I mean, you can create those things, but until you're actually in it, you don't realize that it's expecting too much or it's unrealistic. And I think having a significant other always keeps me in that section where it's like, oh, balance, oh, you're expecting too much, you're not giving enough. And, we all need that. We all need to realize when we're not doing enough or doing too much, and having a significant other helps us stay in the middle, or at least reminds us to stay on track. So I think that's important, staying on track.
That's good shit. Anybody else want to chime in before we get out of here?
It's about to get lit.
I'm good. All right, you rapping. Anyway, follow us, like I said before, on Instagram, The Wave Report, 813. Like the Facebook page. Go subscribe to the YouTube page and all that shit. By the way, thank the person who sent you to this motherfucking page, too, because they are godsend. And thank you for rocking with us. It's The Wave Report, baby.